Australia means business. Authorities and lawmakers promise tougher laws to address the growing threat of terrorism in the country. Speaking at the Council of Australia Governments in Hobart on Friday, Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull and other state and territories leaders in the country agreed that neither bail nor parole will be granted to those who have demonstrated support for or have links to terrorist activities.
This presumption is a vital element in keeping these people who are a threat to our safety and our safety of our families off the streets. Violent criminals with terrorist links should not be walking the streets. They belong in jail.
On Thursday, New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian also announced that the state will have a new law to allow police to shoot suspects in terrorist-related incidents, even if the suspects do not pose an imminent threat.
This is a reform, a law, which is the strongest, will be the strongest in the nation, and I understand from the Commissioner potentially some of the strongest powers a police commissioner will have in the world. For us, there is no compromising on this issue. At all times, our responsibility is to keep the community as safe as possible, and I don't want the police commissioner in any doubt as to his ability to call it as he sees fit during an incident which we know is an act of terror.
These law reinforcements come after a series of Islamist-inspired attacks in Australia, such as Monday's incident that saw an Islamist extremist being shot dead after killing a clerk and holding a sex worker hostage at an apartment in Brighton near Melbourne. In a separate attack on the Lind Cafe in Sydney in 2014, police had to wait for more than 16 hours before storming the building to kill the attacker, only after a hostage was killed.
It's when you get in a situation where, like with Lind, where you have a sniper who's sitting 300 metres away looking through a scope. At the moment they have to determine in their own mind that they have the legal ability to use lethal force. I mean, it's just impossible to make that decision with any certainty. And if there's uncertainty, you can understand an officer will hesitate.
The attacker in Monday's incident was granted parole in November 2016 after being convicted of home invasion. He was also involved in a de-radicalization program prior to the attack.